We're gonna have a rock and roll party tonight. Here we go.
Greetings, and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. I'm Jason. With me is Tim.
That'd be me.
And Bill.
Oh, that's me.
And we're talking Propagandhi. And we're talking failed states. I got to get my vinyl out this time, but I got the vinyl. That's a Todd masterpiece on the cover, just saying. If you missed the previous videos, go check those out. Make sure you like, subscribe, share us with your friends, because YouTube hates us because we say fuck a lot. And Propagandhi, if you're watching this, come on the show. We'd love to discuss the artwork, all of the albums. Hashtag bring back Is It Art? Anything else that I missed? Probably not. I don't know. This was my pick. I made these guys listen to Propagandhi, all albums, and now we're going to rank them. So, failed states. Same lineup as supporting cast. They still got the Beeve. They don't have Bill producing. That album cover, fucking great. Yeah, that's my only introduction notes for this.
Now, did this one they go to Epitaph, or because that's the one?
Yeah, first one on Epitaph.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
fun.
Yeah,
Which is interesting. Go from Fat Mike now to Epitaph.
Yeah, and
Well-
we've done enough bands now that I've got to ask Jason, our resident expert here, is the Fat Wreck to Epitaph considered like a big upgrade, like career wise? Like, I know Epitaph is like the golden throne, but Fat Wreck isn't that far off.
So, or is it more of a lateral move?
I think it was more of a distribution type scenario where they just needed a distributor in the U.S.
And Epitaph's got great distribution, so okay.
Yeah, and if you're on Fat, Epitaph's going to appeal to that same crowd, I think.
Sure.
Now,
It really
Lawrence
just
Arms going to
does seem,
Epitaph,
though,
that was a like, well, we already covered that. Go watch our Lawrence Arms videos.
Because, like, in the metal world in the 21st century, like, you've got Metal Blade and Roadrunner Records, and both had, like, a lot of really good success in the 80s and 90s and whatnot. But then, you know, Nuclear Blast rolls around, and they pick up all the bands that were on those labels, and then eventually their deals got, you know, ran out. And now everybody's on Nuclear Blast. So it's like, okay, you know, we went from Metal Blade to Nuclear Blast. It's kind of a lateral move where, like, they're both kind of like the top dog.
I can't think of any Epitaph bands that went to Fat, though. I could be wrong.
Right. But we've seen so many go
From
Fat to Epitaph.
In the 2000s, Epitaph was taking in some weird... I mean, Weezer has an Epitaph record. Like,
True.
Sage Francis is on Epitaph. They're weird in the 2000s. But, I mean, Propagandhi, I think Epitaph was probably like a natural, hey, we're not on Fat anymore. I think G7, I don't know if that was closed at this point.
I know it did kind of like fail because it was super left politically minded label.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably
Like when we get to the International Noise Conspiracy, and even throughout this whole discography, like, you know, like let's make Rage Against the Machine look tame.
Yeah.
Which, you know, personally, I'm all for. I think that's
I agree, and I mean that's what the whole like why they Propagandhi left was because of the Rock Against Bush. They didn't buy into the lesser of two evils voting thing which I mean that's a badass
that was
comp.
2004.
You know? Yeah, I think
Or
they
wait, was that 2024? I can't remember.
well, yeah, we'll get to that. Sadly.
I'm sure someone's gonna have a great album coming out here in the next couple months.
Propagandhi, they're working on some shit. They're working on a new album. So I know Palestine's gonna be mentioned a couple times. So failed states.
Speaking of, yeah, there's a transition.
Yeah. Genius fucking title. Note to self. I love it. It's not my favorite opening. Probably my least favorite, but I still love it. The title track, using the terminology of failed states to describe humans as individuals, is just fucking brilliant. Devil's Creek, I would like to think we all have that special place from our childhood that made us feel safe. And I know I have my own Devil's Creek I'd rather be in sometimes. Rat and Cane, I'm assuming this is about Christian conversion camps, but I could be way off. Either way, the lyrics are sharp, they're poignant. Hadron is a fucking banger. Status update, not to bring up a past discography review, but this is how you write a "we got a badass song over here" song. Cognitive Suicide, great lyrics as always. Live your life and don't apologize to the cowards of this world. They're a waste of time. And that fucking guitar solo towards the end, I mean, things I like, it's shit Chris likes, like a rowdy fucking pride parade, and another reference from Potemkin with I like speculative fiction, dark narratives of the future that looms of our impending doom. Just shit Chris likes. Unscripted moment. I'm still unpacking this album. My favorite part of Unscripted is the deadpan vocal delivery of "that's just how it goes" and "everybody knows ain't too much can be done." Dark Matters, crazy how different the same subject matter can be tackled about the same topics. Dark Matters is about prostitution, but it's nothing like other discographies we've done about prostitution. It's a different point of view. Lotus Gates.
Go back and watch our police videos.
Yeah. Prostitution's a hot topic. Rolling Stones. Lotus Gate.
Yeah.
That's a damn good one.
Stay tuned for the Chili Peppers.
Yeah, there's some prostitution in that one too. The closing track, amazing closer. The B-sides are all fucking great. I'm still like taking failed states in. And I know you guys probably heard the newer version, but Chris went in and like he was disappointed in the production. And I agree with him. Like when this album came out, it's like you guys just put out supporting cast and you went to this. Like, I don't know. This one, the re-recording is better.
I did see that it had been like remastered or remixed or whatever. Whatever they did to it is the version I heard. So I'm definitely curious to hear an original version.
Because I know because this one and one other album got remastered in 2019. I know on what I was listening to on YouTube.
I think How to Clean Everything got remastered.
Maybe that was the one I was listening to then as well. Because it was.
Yeah, I think that was a remaster as well. Yeah.
And then I think even Less Talk More Rock, the one I listened to, was the 20th anniversary of the 2016. I don't know if it was a remaster or just a reproduction, re-release of those songs I was listening to.
In 2016, you're remastering because at that point you're like boosting it up for iTunes and streaming, which is a different frequency than original masters back in the 90s.
I don't think I've heard that. I've heard the How to Clean, and it does sound better, but it doesn't sound better to me because I grew up with the other one, so it's like weird. Whereas Failed States, like, I think the remaster helps it a lot. I think it helps it, but the original, I don't know. I think the Beaver wrote a lot of the music. I think like it still sounds like Propagandhi, but it doesn't. Like it, I don't know. We'll get to the rankings.
Mhm.
What'd you guys think of Failed States?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a natural progression from the last one. Um, but it also feels like they're kind of trying, like, I don't know. I got a lot of different things off this. Like, Note to Self really feels like a Mutt Lange production. Whereas, like, there are some very AC/DC parts going on. There's some early Def Leppard going on there. Still Propagandhi. They still kind of like, they take it to places where you're not expecting. But I don't know, this album kind of started off a little slow for me. But by Rat and Kane, it has picked up. And then Hadron Collision, uh, as opposed to like a Def Leppard AC/DC feel, this one feels like Slayer or Agnostic Front. We've gone much more hardcore, which I preferred on this album. I thought like the hardcore songs were the better songs. And I thought the first half was really strong. Kind of ending with things I like, but starting with Unscripted Moment, the rest of the album, it just kind of trailed off for me. Where, like, they're not bad songs, and maybe I just need more time with them. But, upon first listen, a brand new discography for me. On first listen, like, I liked the first half, but by the second half, maybe I was getting, a little listener fatigue. And nothing was really jumping out at me.
I'm going to quickly piggyback off of that before Jason says anything, because I feel like Jason's about to say something. I would almost concur exactly with what you said, Tim, with the exception in the second half, I thought Lotus Gate was a phenomenal song.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
I loved how they're doing the guitar and everything with the vocals. I thought that they did very well in that song, and that was actually my favorite song on the album, was that one. But I mean, I will concur. I mean, for me, Duplicate Keys might be their worst outro song. At least on my listen to. I mean, also brand new discography. This one I didn't spend as much time with this album as I did some of the other ones. I'll confess that. This one I listened to really. I mean, I've heard it 3, truly listened to twice. Like it.
Well, and I'll throw out there too, since Jason mentioned them, I did listen to the bonus tracks, and they do all rip. I did like all the bonus tracks.
And I did not listen to any of the bonus tracks, I will confess.
Okay. Yeah. No, they were really good.
Fucking Rich Fuck the Poor is a good song.
I like that one a lot. Yeah. And The Days You Hate Yourself. I thought that one was really good too.
Like it. I mean, it does start slow, because actually, for note to self, my exact notes are it's a longer intro, but I thought it had a good guitar with it though. So
I don't mind note to self. I don't mind. I think the opening is strong for sure. I think Devil's Creek is a top song contender for me.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, and that's in the front half of the record, which it's good.
Yeah, and there are a couple top song contenders on this album, for sure.
I mean, I guess it doesn't help us. I mean, us being Tim and I mean, we're listening to Failed States right after we're hearing Supporting Cast. We're not waiting a couple of years to listen to it.
I mean, even as somebody who waited a couple of years, I remember listening to this, because in 2012 I moved to Panama City, and I remember like driving to work listening to this record and just being like, what the fuck is this?
Okay, so it's not
Like,
I mean, it might be a grow over now, though. I'll definitely confess it could be that because
it definitely grows. It definitely grows.
Yeah, I can totally. And I feel that way about all these albums in a way. Like, really hard to rank because there's a lot of quality here throughout. And yeah, first impressions, it's like, oh man, I don't even know where to like jump back in at, you know?
It doesn't have that. It doesn't grab you like supporting cast does right out the gate.
Right, right.
that's like yeah. There's a couple. I mean, a couple other albums like they just grab you. It's like, oh shit. Okay, here we go. I'm here for the ride. Where are we going next? Because it's like okay. And here, if you look on your right, you see our nice little villa that's on fire. Here on the left, the shopping mall that gets looted every other week. Like that's what you're looking at with this one.
Yeah, it's failed states.
I'm really glad I'm not guessing this one.
I hope, is it me?
Yeah, it is you.
It is you.
I'm gonna say Bill has it number 6.
No, not my number 6.
What?
What do you mean what?
What? Let me rethink this now. All right, I just assumed I was putting myself in your shoes. I shouldn't do that. This pains me. This physically pains me. You really like Shell fucking disannouncement of Shell.
Damn right. That's a top song contender.
But you also said nation states were a bad idea happened. So I don't know. I'm gonna say you like it better than this one.
No, you had it. You had it right
All right.
there. Yeah.
I don't want to say you're wrong, but I think you're wrong. All right, Tim.
It sounds like someone just got a
where does
slap.
Tim have it?
I think Tim's gonna have it above How to Clean Everything.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna have it above Today's Empires.
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna break that Potemkin wall. No. Yeah, are you breaking the wall?
No, I don't think so either.
Okay.
They're pretty equal. I have a feeling that, like, as I listen to them more, those two specifically could flip. But yeah, as of right now, I think number 4 is a great spot for it.
All right, it's my number 6. I need more time with it. My notes say I'm taking failed states in still. I have 2 issues with it. I agree with Chris. I think the production on the original release is not as good as supporting cast. It's also a missing Bill. It sounds fine, but it sounded more muddled than past albums. They cleaned it up some, so it is better. My other issue is the music isn't as memorable or really pops like the other albums. Makes the album feel bloated almost. Still working through it. Lyrics are all top notch as usual, but musically it just doesn't pop. Like it's very. What? Both of you have raised your hands. What have you got to say?
Mr. Jason, Tim has a question.
You raised your hand for Tim?
Yes.
I ignored Tim's hand raise, but now 2 hand raises. I got to pay attention. Okay, Tim. What's your question?
I was just going to say I'm going to call a mulligan. I'm going to move it down 1.
Okay. See, I can get behind that.
Yeah, now that I'm actually like looking at it in order, no, it needs to go down 1 more.
I mean, Ladies' Night in Loserville alone is...
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, again, I need more time with these albums. So I'm sure you ask me again in a month, I'll probably have a completely different order. But yeah, I like this one a lot better right now.
And it's not a bad record. It is not a bad record. But it's not my favorite Propagandhi. If I have to reach for Propagandhi, there's two of them I'd reach for. And if I, you have to commit yourself to failed states. Like, you have to sit down and say, I'm going to listen to Propagandhi's failed states. Which I guess goes
And I can
for,
see this popping up like in shuffles or randoms. Random playlists.
I mean,
like,
fucking
yeah.
status update comes out. I ain't fucking skipping it. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
it's a fucking banger of a record.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, especially coming off of the supporting cast. Like, yeah, it's not quite as good.
Interesting. Yeah, we all got the same number 1 and the same number 3, and then number 2 is like 3 different Fat albums. That's interesting. All right, we have one more to go. Victory Lap. It is the newest, most updated Propagandhi, which was what, 2017? Jesus
7 years ago.
Fuck. They're due for another one. They better put out a record this year.
We'll cover it if they do.
Yeah, we'll add them to the list. I think we got some new album reviews coming up. Seven Spires, I think we're gonna do.
That one will be done by the time
The
this
new
week.
Sepultura, or whatever
Well,
they're
it's
called
Cavalera,
now.
technically.
Cavalera.
Cavalera.
Yeah.
It's old Sepultura.
Which, go back and watch our 2023 album review, or album of the year review. They get brought up there. Mm-hmm. This time we're all going to listen to it, though. Last time only Tim listened to it and put it on the list. This time we all have to listen to it. So stick around for that. Stick around for our Ghost discography review next week. And our Poison review. If you guys feel a little nostalgic, we're going to kick into some Poison. We're going to...
Let me tell you what I want.
Oh, I will say, though, I did see them on tour for this album cycle. And
Propagandhi?
Yeah, Propagandhi, not fucking Poison. I saw Propagandhi, and they still kicked ass. When they played Anti-Manifesto, I told my wife, I was like, I got to mosh. I'm sorry. I got to go.
I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, she took my glasses because I broke my last glasses in a No Effect show because they played the Decline, and you have to go in the pit for the Decline. But
shout out to Jason's wife. That's trooper quality right there.
Yeah, that's like saving the family money. Like, give me your glasses.
Yeah. Yep.
But I talked to Chris after I met him, took a photo. I'm going to use that at the end of every single one of these videos. So that was me 10 years ago with Chris, and he looks just as pissed off as you expect.
Nice.
Be safe and subscribe and make good decisions.
And go to your local punk rock shows.